Cardiovascular disease, including coronary artery disease, cerebrovascular events, and peripheral vascular disease, is a leading cause of morbidity and mortality worldwide and responsible for 17% of the US healthcare expenditure. Hello, everyone. I'm Ashima McCall, Assistant Professor in the Division of Rheumatology at Mayo Clinic, Rochester, and the Subspecialty Chair for our Connective Tissue Disease Group with expertise in systemic sclerosis. I'm pleased to share with you on behalf of my co-authors the findings from our study titled Cardiovascular Risk Factors in Atherosclerotic Cardiovascular Events Among Incident Cases of Systemic Sclerosis, results from a population-based cohort from 1980 to 2016, which will appear in an upcoming issue of Mayo Clinic Proceedings. Autoimmune rheumatic diseases are being increasingly recognized to have a higher incidence of premature atherosclerosis. In rheumatoid arthritis and lupus, this risk is driven primarily by chronic inflammation leading to accelerated coronary and cerebrovascular atherosclerosis independent of traditional atherosclerotic risk factors. The extent of cardiovascular involvement in other rheumatic diseases has been less well characterized, but is an area of growing interest. Systemic sclerosis, also called scleroderma, is a chronic inflammatory autoimmune disease characterized by endothelial dysfunction, microvascular injury, and excessive extracellular matrix deposition, leading to widespread fibrosis of skin and internal organs, including the heart and lung. It affects women more often than men, with a mean age at diagnosis around 50. The heart is one of the major organs affected in scleroderma, although the prevalence is underestimated due to the occult nature and lack of a consistent definition of cardiac involvement in scleroderma. Clinically evident cardiac involvement, typically in the form of myocarditis and cardiac arrhythmias, is associated with a poor prognosis, with up to 70% mortality reported at 5 years. In fact, 25% of scleroderma-related deaths are attributable to cardiac causes. The focus of our study was atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease in scleroderma. The overarching goal was, firstly, to establish the prevalence of traditional CV risk factors amongst a population-based cohort of patients with incident scleroderma, and secondly, to estimate the cardiovascular risk using traditional scoring systems like the 10-year Framingham risk score and the ACC-AHA-AS-CVD pool risk scores, and compare these with the observed incidence of atherosclerotic CVD events during follow-up. We also compared these risk factors and CV events to age and sex-matched non-scleroderma comparators derived from the same geographic area. We utilized the resources of the Rochester Epidemiology Project, which allows access to medical records of all residents of Olmsted County, Minnesota, from birth to death through a comprehensive medical record linkage system. We identified all incident cases of scleroderma diagnosed in Olmsted County over a 36-year period between 1980 and 2016 and assigned them an index date corresponding to their diagnosis date. For each case, we identified 2 age and sex-matched comparators without systemic sclerosis and identified an index date corresponding to the scleroderma diagnosis date of the matched case. We compared 78 incident scleroderma cases to 156 non-scleroderma comparators. In both cohorts, the mean age was around 56 years, 90% were women, and close to 90% patients were white. With regards to traditional cardiovascular risk factors, we observed a significantly lower BMI and lower prevalence of diabetes mellitus in scleroderma patients compared to non-scleroderma comparators. There was no difference in the prevalence of smoking, hypertension, or hyperlipidemia at index date. Prior to scleroderma diagnosis or index date, there was no difference in the prevalence of cardiovascular events in the 2 cohorts. But when CV events were substratified, CHF was significantly higher among scleroderma patients at 8 events compared to 2 events in the non-scleroderma comparators, with a p-value of 0.003. The cohorts were followed for a mean of 9.8 and 9.2 years in the scleroderma and non-scleroderma cohorts, respectively, corresponding to an 874 and 1,778 person-years of observation. During this period, 21 of 63 patients with scleroderma and 20 of 133 patients without scleroderma developed cardiovascular events, corresponding to a 10-year cumulative incidence of 24.4% among scleroderma patients and 15.2% among comparators, which represented a more than 2-fold increased risk of CVD in scleroderma patients. This was predominantly due to coronary artery disease, including MI and angina. Furthermore, after adjusting for traditional cardiovascular risk factors like smoking, diabetes, hypertension, and hyperlipidemia, the CV risk in scleroderma remains statistically significantly elevated and increased for some CV events like MI to almost 5-fold with a hazard ratio of 4.88. When the observed cardiovascular events were compared to predicted CV events by the Framingham risk scores and the ACC-AHA risk scores, we observed that these strongly underestimated the cardiovascular disease risk in scleroderma patients by 4 to 5-fold. In conclusion, through this US population cohort study, we have shown that scleroderma patients have a more than 2-fold higher risk of CV events compared to non-scleroderma comparators that persists despite adjustment for traditional CV risk factors. The findings are similar to previously reported studies using a primary care database from United Kingdom and an Australian scleroderma cohort study which relied primarily on self-reported coronary artery disease. These studies confirm an elevated atherosclerotic burden in scleroderma patients like other rheumatic diseases such as RA and lupus, where it has been primarily attributed to the chronic inflammatory nature of these diseases. Nevertheless, scleroderma is not the classic inflammatory disease, and disease activity or response to treatment are not typically tracked by inflammatory markers like CRP, as in many other conditions like RA and lupus or giant cell arteritis. We believe that the vasculopathy with endothelial injury and microvascular dysfunction, as well as the abnormal vasoreactivity that characterizes scleroderma, may play a central role in the pathomechanisms of cardiovascular disease in scleroderma. But given that these are not definitely proven causes or drivers of ischemic heart disease, they definitely warrant further detailed study. So what is the take-home message for patients and physicians? The results of our study strongly emphasize the need to counsel and educate scleroderma patients, as well as the physicians taking care of them, about this increased CVD risk. Traditional risk scoring systems underestimate cardiovascular risk in scleroderma substantially and can potentially deprive this vulnerable group of patients important preventive interventions. While the pathobiology of this increased risk may be poorly understood, our study findings emphasize the importance of optimally controlling disease activity, as well as encouraging early and aggressive identification and treatment of modifiable risk factors for cardiovascular disease. This means strict control of hypertension and considering statin therapy, as this may also benefit vascular disease and scleroderma. Aspirin use may also be considered after weighing its risk versus benefit ratio in these patients, especially for its benefit for occlusive vasculopathy. Most importantly, teamwork is critical, and closely working with general cardiologists to make them understand the broad spectrum of organ system involvement beyond pulmonary hypertension that can affect systemic sclerosis patients and tailor the investigation and management recommendations accordingly is very important. Screening for subclinical cardiac involvement may also help, providing an opportunity for early intervention, which may be key to optimizing long-term outcomes. But the best screening modality and the frequency of assessment remains a topic for further investigation. There are novel atherosclerotic risk markers such as oxidized LDL, lipoprotein A, homocysteine, among others, that may predict risk better than traditional risk scoring systems and are a key area of future research in the field. Thank you for listening to me, and I do hope you will enjoy reading our study.
We hope you found this presentation from the content of our website valuable. Our journal's mission is to promote the best interests of patients by advancing the knowledge and professionalism of the physician community. If you are interested in more information about us, our homepage is www.mayoclinicproceedings.org. There you'll find access to information for our social media content, such as additional videos on our YouTube channel or journal updates on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter. More information about healthcare at Mayo Clinic is available at www.mayoclinic.org. This video content is copyrighted by Mayo Foundation for Medical Education and Research.